Now, I know that, for reasons that we needn't elaborate on, you're doing a little less of the satire and the comedy that you're very, very good at. But you know a bit about the entertainment community and so forth. Has it been changed in your view, the way what we look for in humour, the way it's presented, the way we look at ourselves, which satire and humour is so good at? Has it been changed as a result of COVID?
I don't know if it's been changed as a result of COVID. I think it's been changing for some time anyway.
Yeah, you've touched on this before, and you're not alone in this country. That wokeness is killing our ability to...
Yeah, I think it's not killing our ability to make jokes, because on TRIGGERnometry we put out a satirical piece every week, and Francis and I do a live stream 3 nights a week where we do the most outrageous accents and the crazy jokes and really irreverent stuff that probably would be too much even for you, John, if you don't mind me saying. But so you can still do it. Can you do it in the mainstream? Can you do it on television? Can you do it on radio? Probably not. And so what I see is a split. The mainstream comedy is getting blander and less interesting, and the real exciting stuff is in the comedy clubs that are pursuing a different way of looking at things, and it's on the internet. So I think there are some positive changes happening on that front as well that I see. You get YouTube channels with millions of subscribers who are doing something different to the mainstream, and they're very successful because the mainstream doesn't provide it.
So often in drama down through the age, the fool, the person playing the fool in the King's Court, is only playing the fool. They're actually brilliant. And they're using that humour to expose poor thinking, absurdity, in this sort of suffocating atmosphere that you sometimes get now in the public arena in Western countries, and its impact on humorlessness. Do you, just to sort of almost repeat the question, do you think the comedian and comedy has some sort of unique power to draw people towards truth, or to at least expose absurdity?
I'll maybe answer with an anecdote. The first thing, you had a version of Spitting Image in Australia, didn't you?
Yeah.
What was it called? Do you remember? Nick knows.
Rubbery Figures.
Rubbery Figures, yeah, a long time ago.
So you had a version of Spitting Image in Australia. I think it's called Rubbery Figures.
It's a long time ago now.
And we had Spitting Image in the UK, obviously. And we actually, believe it or not, had a period in the 1990s under Boris Yeltsin's government where we had Spitting Image, the equivalent, it was called kukli, which means puppets, in Russia. For the first time ever, the politicians that you saw on your television would be made fun of and ridiculed and caricatured on television. The first thing that Vladimir Putin did when he came into office is he shut it down.
Yeah.
That tells you everything you need to know about the power of comedy. Authoritarians and dictators, that's the first thing they do. They shut down comedy, they shut down literature that criticizes and mocks them, that satirizes them, because it is powerful. And so I think, of course, comedy has power. And thank you for calling me a fool.
I don't think that at all.
I'm kidding.
I remember once as a young MP, I tried to answer a question seriously from a kid in a classroom. He said, "Oh, are you offended by rubbery figures?" Of course, I featured. And I tried to answer the question in terms of the government of the day being rubbery with economic figures. I made a complete fool of myself. The kid was driving in something completely different.
How was that for you?
What?
Being a character in these sketches?
The honest answer is sometimes it hurt.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was just downright funny.
Yeah.
And there were times when I thought, I've created an impression there. I deserve that. I need to wake up. Right. I thought it was valuable.
So that's the power of
as long as it doesn't
satire.
spell into... There's a difference, isn't there, between genuine humour and cruel cynicism.
Yeah.
And so much of the humour we get now is just weaponised in the age of identity politics. So it's not helpful.
No.
It's destructive.
And
you
also
can't
it's one-sided.
do anything with cynicism.
It's one-sided.
It's one-sided.
See, I don't mind a bit of cruelty to politicians because I think often they deserve it. Forgive me, John.
I agree. No, I agree.
But as long as it's balanced up,
Yeah.
as long as everybody's fair game, then I think you go, well, look, they were harsh to me this week, but next week they're doing Julia Gillard, or whoever it would have been at the time.
Right.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
And we can work with that. I think that's the biggest problem in mainstream comedy is it's extremely one-sided.
Yeah.
Extremely one-sided.
That is true in Australia.
Yeah.
At the time of Rubbery Figures, it wasn't.
Quite. And that's why you could take it in that way. And by the way, it's a useful tool to prick your ego a little bit as a politician. I think it's important.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. But today we need to employ it against not just politicians. It needs to be employed against many of the elites who are so dismissive of common sense in the common community, if I can put it that way. There's a lot of that in Australia.
Yeah.
I think it's probably alive and well here as well.
It is.